Hi, my name is Caleb. I'm the son of Scott Campbell, the main builder of Celilo Cycles, our carbon fiber Kevlar reinforced wooden bikes made in Corvallis, Oregon. So they're totally hollow, reinforced with the carbon fiber and Kevlar fabric on the inside, made out of Alaskan yellow cedar. That provides a really awesome, responsive, and smooth ride. The combination of wood and the composite lets us make a really stiff bike horizontally, and then it's got a really awesome, compliant, smooth ride on gravel or as a mountain bike. In a lot of ways, it'll feel just like a bike made out of carbon fiber or titanium, but with a way more smooth, subtly soft ride. Over here, this is an example piece that shows a bunch of different phases in the construction process. So we tried to show as many different parts of that as possible in this. It's kind of like a science fair kind of thing that'll show our bike on the CNC machine being profiled out, as well as the inside after the bladder has been used to fill it with carbon fiber and Kevlar. The process is really similar to building a carbon bike, but the mold on the outside, like the wood is the mold in this case, it never comes off, and we machine it down to be the profile of the bike, different wall thickness throughout, so it can be anywhere as thick as like 4 millimeters in some places in the thickest areas, and in the middle of the tube, the wood might be as thin as a millimeter or less. It's super, super light, compares really well to like a high-end steel bike as far as weight, and rides just totally awesome.
Hey, I'm Dan from Chumba Bikes, based out of Austin, Texas, where we make handmade titanium and steel gravel and mountain bikes. So this one right here is our new model. It's called the Cenote. It's a gravel bike built specifically around the Cane Creek suspension fork that they just came out with. It's called the invert fork. It's 40 millimeters of travel, and it has a lockout switch on the side. So it's great for doing some chunkier trails and single track that you might not normally be able to do with your normal gravel bike. We've got a Forest Explorer drivetrain on here, paired with some Hope 4 brakes for 4-piston calipers that are give some really good stopping power. The frame is finished with a custom anodization job that we've done in-house. We can match different headset and bottom bracket colors in blue and bronze, different schemes, as well as purple. This other bike over here, we've got our new 150, 140 millimeter travel suspension bike. It's called the Chumba Slacker. It's got a 65.8 degree head tube, and it's a kind of an evolution of our Sendero, which was our 130 millimeter travel bike. So it just kind of beefed it up a little bit better for chunkier trails if you're riding in Arizona or the desert, where you need a little bit of extra suspension up front. And yeah, it's also got a custom anodization job with some V-Blast in the back to give it a nice, subtle look in the back.
Hey, I'm Sean with Destroy Bike Co. And this is our mini Velo cargo bike. It's a 20-inch frame to BMX geometry. Paul hubs in the rear. This is a fixed and single-speed compatible hub. Paul clampers, White Industries cranks. The rear end rack is also meant to be taken off so you can surf on it. The handlebars are meant to be a beer bar, based off of an old bar called the Big Gulp Bars. We got the new Block 15 Simworks or Buzzworks Chris King beer in there, as well as our Buddy's Top Cap pink tag bags, a little beer cooler. Keeps your beer fresh while you're out on a ride. Front rack can handle a bit of weight and also has a nice little stash tube. You can put your weed in there, you can put your hot dogs in there, whatever you need.
So I'm Rob English at English Cycles here at May 2024. This bike here is latest iteration of my folding bike concept in gravel format. So the frame decouples at the seat stay, and the seat stays are keyed into the dropout held in place by the through axle. So once the wheel's removed, seat stay unit comes out altogether, and then the chain stays fold around underneath the main frame. This makes a compact package that can be packed into a airline checkable case. And because it's a fully stainless frame, there's no paint to scratch or chip. I've actually ridden this a bunch this year already, and it's wipes down, cleans up real nice. And on a different extreme of things, I got the it's the third version of the time trial bike. It's the first time I've done one with disc brakes. On this bike, I started by taking 60 millimeters out of the crank spindle in order to make for a narrow queue and get a nice chain line with the 1x chainring. And then it's custom drawn 4130 tubing to a NACA profile streamline shape. And then the whole front end idea to keep the fork blades wide and run them all the way up to the base bar. So there's no steerer tube, there's no conventional headset. There's bearings, angular contact bearings in there with a internal steering limiter to get everything as compact as possible. So basically the whole frame is only 24 millimeters wide. And then it takes the MV aero bar and gave me the nightmare of running the hydraulic hoses through everything, because while steel tubing is nice and thin for aero, it gives not a lot of room inside it for getting the hoses through.
Hey, I'm Chris Wall from Mischief Bicycles in Seattle, Washington. Here to show you some of the bikes we brought to the Made Show. This is our flagship model. We call it the Murder. It's a gravel bike designed for kind of performance gravel riding. We had the bike designed, and I designed the bike to run fairly large size tires at 700C up to about a 44, or if you run 650B, you can go up to about a 50C tire. To do that, we had to bend the seat tube and get a 3D printed chainstay yoke so that we could shorten the wheelbase. Unlike a lot of gravel bikes that are kind of barge-like in their ride, this is like a road bike that doesn't know it's on gravel. Very fast and nimble, but very stable and has nice manners on the dirt. Typically comes in a sort of 1x setup, either electronic or mechanical. And this one's got kind of decked out with the latest Industry 9 stuff, including their brand new stem for road, which is just now becoming available. This is our first shot at a randonnée platform. I sort of feel like the interest in bike packing has kind of actually reverse engineered back to randonnée style bikes. This bike is 650B specific, typically, and you can run it with fenders up to about a 45C tire. Great bike. I think it takes advantage of what titanium does well, in that it's light, very friendly feeling, comfortable bike. This one's done in a fully mechanical, what we call the zombie build, where basically there's no batteries to charge, no brakes to bleed, very serviceable out on the road. If you take off the fenders and put on fatter tires, it makes a very good bike packing bike as well. You can throw on the Adventure fork some fork cages and throw some packs or lightweight on it, and use it for bike packing with a larger or knobby tire.
Hi, I'm Bryce Gracie of Number 22 Bicycle Company, and this is our Reactor Aero prototype. So this is our aerodynamic titanium bicycle. Basically, we've always kind of wanted to stand toe-to-toe with contemporary carbon fiber bikes in terms of the bells and the whistles. The one thing that we haven't been able to really achieve to date is answering the aerodynamic claims of such. So it's been a few years in the works, off and on through the pandemic, and then really kind of going full at it to get ready for this show. But we've done some CFD testing, and we're going to do further wind tunnel testing and further development testing to bring this to market, hopefully around this time next year. But this is our answer to offering a bike that's still a titanium bike, but one that takes aero performance into pretty serious consideration. So this particular version of it was actually 3D printed monolithically. So it's a one-piece 3D print for the entire frame, save for the seat post, which is carbon fiber, like the existing reactor model. And yeah, so now we're exploring how we're going to get it into production, whether it is fully 3D printed or a variation thereof of a kit of parts that's 3D printed and assembled at our factory in Johnstown, New York, or a combination of hydroform tubing and 3D printing. Basically, whichever is going to make the best results and to make it a viable option for the market.
Hello, my name's Alder. I'm one of the owners at Rodriguez Bikes, and this is our 4-person, it's a quad tandem. So this is actually one of our specialties. This is an 8-ball tandem, so this converts from a 4-3-2 to a 1. It makes the heaviest single bike in the world, and it has 3 brakes, but you can do it. So we made this for a family originally. It was a tandem, and they had children, and we just added sections to it. The special part about this is that you can actually remove a single section, and the cables all have splitters in them right here. And you can just connect all the cables together, and there's no adjustment needed. You just take a section out, put the chains together, and just ride away. A little special story about this is they, in each of their wills, they actually left half of the bike to one of their kids, and they left enough money for them to build the other half of the tandem, so they could make a family of their own. Another story is they were out on a camping trip, they were hauling a trailer, and the trailer broke off the hitch, went into the spokes, and they could not ride the quad with 6 broken spokes, so he converted it to a single, rode that into town about 30 miles, got the bike fixed, rode it back, so they could then ride out of camp back home with it. This is our Outlaw tandem, so this is very different from the other one. This one weighs 24.5 pounds. So like if I just grab it from the center here, I mean, you can just lift that thing up. And between 2 people, if you got 2 very strong riders on here, that's, you know, way lighter than you can get just about any single bike. It's got Kevlar spoked wheels on here from Spinergy. 3x10 Campy. It's lighter than our single bike over here, the Outlaw. This guy is 13 pounds, and you could literally just, this actually fell off the car on the way here. It hit a sign in the HOV lane, and it's fine. It's fine. The fork is messed up from it getting ripped out of the rack, but the frame is totally okay. It's kind of a testament to steel, you know?
I'm Danielle Schön from Schön Studio in Squamish, BC. I'm a custom frame builder, and I also teach frame building classes, and these are my made bikes. This is a swing bike or a circus bike. It is completely covered in disco tiles, and I manually machined all of the components on here. So I turned the hubs by hand on the lathe, I machined the cranks on the mill, and basically all of the purple components were all manually machined in-house. I also anodized them all in-house myself, as well as laser etched them. Everything else, obviously the frame is custom built, the bar stem combo is custom, and the saddle and the bar protector and the grips are by Anna Schön of Wow What Studio, custom upholstered in stingray leather. This bike behind you here is called the 100-Hour Lugs Project. This is Damascus steel lugs. I hand forged all of the Damascus steel, then processed it into sheet and formed it into lugs, carved and fabricated the lugs, and then built it into a track bike. I also made the dropouts, so the fork ends, the rear dropouts, the fork crown, little pop on the bridge there as well, all in the handmade Damascus steel. And it was just to kind of showcase some additional metalwork and really pay tribute to, you know, the beauty of metalworking in a beautiful classic track bike.
Hello, I'm Ben Coffey with Thomson Bike Products. I'm here to show our all-new US-made steel lineup. The first one is our gravel bike. This is called the Tomahawk. This is all Columbus Zona made in Italy steel tubes with a Columbus fork, handmade in Augusta, Georgia. comes in a variety of sizes and colors, both mechanical and wireless options. Up from that, we're doing also our track frame. This is called the Skeeter. Again, full Columbus Zona steel tubes, Columbus Pista fork. This is our off-the-shelf color. It's black with a light blue logo. We do allow color options, but this, if you just call us up and order one of these guys, it's going to come black with this with the blue logo. Retail on this one is $19.95 frame fork headset. From there, we go to the Claremont. Claremont is our all-mountain, based around 130 mil travel, 130 to 140 mil travel fork. Again, Columbus Zona steel tubes, 66 head tube angle, sliding dropouts. This is our 2.9er steel